Yeah.
And that's happening more and more often.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been a while since we filled you in on Bodhi. Remember Bodhi, Lisa's dog? We've kind of been meaning to bring you up to speed on that at times, but we are just talking about him, and he came out of it. He's kind of snapped out of it, and Lisa got some more good time with him. But it's, you know, in form, we we seemingly come to an end. Well, in form, we do come to an end. Part of what we're learning here is joining, merging, becoming the the changeless mind. In a world of constant change, our yoga is to join with the changeless. And then in these seemingly really difficult situations, remember there's no order of difficulty in miracles. So in these seemingly especially difficult situations, like having to put a dog down, we use it. We give it this higher purpose. And this is so powerful in these final days. And they're all final days. The moment we are born, the days become final. So they're in these final days, knowing they're all final days. How do we make these difficult decisions? But ask, what would love have me do? What would perfect, timeless, changeless love have me do? And so we don't necessarily have to wait until things get really bad. We don't have to wait until, in this case, the dog is just really, really suffering. It's okay. Love is is always setting another free. And in doing so, we set ourselves free. It's not death that brings freedom. It's quite the opposite. It's recognizing there is no death. It's just part of the illusion. And in that recognition, it makes these moments, like what Lisa is dealing with, remarkably healing. Bodhi and Lisa, and you and me, we all share the same truth, the same reality as one. And that's what this book is all about. That's what these lessons are getting us to slowly realize. Is we it's just the power of belief that makes the dream seem so real. Start the day with your legs up on the wall and your head on the bolster or a cushion. Interlock your fingers under your head. Now, notice how the bolster supports the elbows. That's why we like these nice long bolsters. They support the arms. You might have the kind of a pillow or cushion where your elbows drop toward the floor, and that's okay if they do. If it's too strong or too demanding, you know they're out in a T shape. Eyes closed, slowly turn your head to the left. Increase the turn a little bit from the point of restriction, from the sensation. Maybe it's sharp, maybe it's dull, maybe it's just a little tight. Your legs heavy, your body relaxed, your mind begins to relax as you increase the turn from the point of sensation. Just the tiniest little bit. Meet it with love, meet it with forgiveness, and then rest. Lesson number 30. God is in everything I see. Oh, okay, lesson number 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. We're on this journey, we're in this process of realizing that our mind is part of God's and that we are wholly united with God. That's the state of heaven. So today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe what vision will show you. It is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this of himself. Yet the reason he thinks he is in this world is because he does not believe it. Bring your head back to the center and switch the interlock of your fingers. Keep your eyes closed and turn to the right. Increase the turn a little bit from the point of resistance. How welcoming we are with the resistance. The resistance we feel in the body is an effect of the resistance that we have in mind. Once you've made that exploration, then rest. And I'm going to read these last two sentences again and talk about them. It says, it is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe that their mind is part of God's and that they are very holy. Yet the reason he thinks he is in this world is because he does not believe that he is part of God's mind and very holy. It's the undoing of this belief that is our journey. Bring your head back to the center. Now bring the soles of the feet slowly together and the knees wide. That's it. Soles of the feet together, knees wide, your heels slide down the wall. Don't let them just drop. Think about that measurement that we typically do. 2 hands from the groin to the heels. Yeah. See if you can keep the heels on the wall, the outer edge of the heels, the outer edge of the foot on the wall, and even press into the wall slightly and feel this transmission of energy, this effect from the press through your legs, through your knees, into your hips, causing your low back to press a little more into the floor. Feel that, Lisa? Now, the shape itself may bring some cramping. It may bring the feeling of tension into the lower part of the leg near the ankle. That's welcome. That's part of the shape. Just feel that and slowly turn your head to the left once again. Paragraph 2. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. I believe I'm a body because I think I'm a body. I believe I'm in this particular environment because I think I'm in it. It says that is because you surround yourself with the environment you want, and you want it to protect the image of yourself that you have made. The image is part of this environment. What you see while you believe you are in it is seen through the eyes of the image. This is not vision. Images cannot see. Bring your head back to the center. And slowly turn your head to the right. Now, if it gets too demanding on your legs, you know the work is over and you can just slide your legs back up the wall. Make some adjustment on your feet. Either move them up a little bit or move them down a little bit here. That's it. Increase a little bit the turn to the right. Increase a little bit the pressure into the feet. The whole outer edge of the foot. Try to include the outer edge of the heel. Through the legs, through the knees, into the hips, low back toward the floor. Bring your head back to the center. And then slowly slide your feet back up the wall. Now, socks could be helpful here. If you don't have socks, you're just going to move them a few inches and then stop and keep pressing the feet together. Keep pressing the feet into the wall. Good. Then move them up a little more. Yep, press them again together. Now, what I'd like you to do is in these final moments where your legs actually start to straighten, make some effort to keep the soles of the feet together as you finally release the heels up onto the wall, especially the last moment, like right there, Lisa. Do that work. Try to get the little toe bases to touch some. Yeah. And don't be surprised if this just brings a whole bunch of cramping and uh, spasming in the muscles. Okay. And then finally go ahead and release them up. Yeah, we don't realize how much tension we have in the lower part of the leg. So that's a nice release. We'll come back to that periodically. Release your hands, interlock your fingers over the right knee, and bring the knee toward the center chest. Match your effort with the feedback you get. Notice the sensation. Ultimately here, as we notice the sensation and move with our bodies in these various shapes, we respect the sensation, we respect the feedback, And then we use it to gently slip beyond it. Beyond it to the healed mind that is an extension of God's mind. It says here that seeing through the eyes of the image. So the body is an image made by the mind. And then it seems to look with the eyes, it seems to hear with the ears, it seems to have sensation in the body, it seems to have sensation through the fingertips and through the feet, through the skin, it seems to have all these things, but they just report to the mind. And then we errantly believe that the things that we touch and sense and feel with the body cause stress or pain or suffering or even happiness and joy in the mind. We've reversed the truth. That's why it says this is not vision. Images cannot see. Release your leg back up onto the wall. And interlock your fingers over the left knee. Bring the left knee toward the center of the chest. Sink into the shape. Feel the sensation. We respect all the feedback. We respect the notion that we can see with our eyes. In paragraph 3, it says, the idea for today presents a very different view of yourself. By establishing your source, it establishes your identity. Both the S and the I are capitalized. And it describes you as you must really be in truth. We will use a somewhat different kind of application for today's idea because the emphasis for today is on the perceiver rather than on what he perceives. Very, very gently, we're undoing this idea that the images we have made in form are the cause of our duress in mind. It's why I can see peace instead of this. I can see from a place of peace the situation at hand, whatever it is. I may not want to, but I can. So we may feel like we're not succeeding in seeing peace instead of this. We may feel like we're not succeeding. Nevertheless, we just remind ourselves that I can see peace instead of this. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Release your leg back up onto the wall. And just rest a moment. Arms at your sides, legs and torso relaxing heavy. Let your mind and your heart open up and just let yourself be available, as difficult as it might seem, as odd and unusual as it might seem. Remember the lessons? I want to see differently. My thoughts or images I have made. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And now, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. See, there's a plan here. There's an undoing that heals. Bend your knees and push yourself back. Stretch yourself on the floor and good. And then when you're ready, push yourself up. Have a seat at the wall. Ideally, you can lean against something. Soles of the feet together. Knees wide. Yep. And again, just rest. Feel the shape. The Course reminds us all it takes is a little willingness. Once the goal has been set, the destiny is certain. It promises us that too. Now the whole thing, your whole awakening, the whole atonement could happen in an instant. An instant is all it takes. But the proper use of time is the undoing of time and space. Slowly curve forward. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about how the practice is recommended here. It says, for each of the 3 5-minute practice periods today, begin by repeating today's idea to yourself, which is, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And close your eyes and search your mind for various kinds of descriptive terms in which you see yourself. Include all the ego-based attributes which you ascribe to yourself, positive or negative, desirable or undesirable, grandiose or debased. All of them are equally unreal because you do not look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness. Now slowly raise back up, uncoiling your torso back to the support of the wall. And then extend your legs out in front of you. Comfortably supported here. Have a moment and search your mind for all the attributes you give yourself. It says, at first, in this mind searching, you will probably emphasize what you consider to be the more negative aspects of your perception of yourself. And as you make your way through these more negative attributes, then it says toward the latter part of the exercise period, however, more inflating descriptive terms may well cross your mind. Try to recognize that the direction of your fantasies about yourself does not matter. Positive or negative, it says, our fantasies about ourselves do not matter. Illusions have no direction in reality. They are merely not true. And then it gives some examples. I see myself as imposed on. I see myself as depressed. I see myself as failing, losing out. I see myself as charitable. Oh, I see myself as virtuous. And think of all the time we've spent through our lives building self-esteem. There never really was a need for that, just an undoing to realize true self. And all the esteem you'll ever need is given. It's non-egoic, it's non uh, non-judgmental. And then it says, after you've gone through this list of attributes you've assigned yourself, then we just add at the end, but my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. As an outer gesture of that inner truth, bring your hands to your heart. Just bathe, if you can, in the moment of in this idea. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Namaste.